we have two sections from the Quran, and they're word for word identical, except for the conjunction, as you can see. Here we have the waaw, and here is the thumma. This verse here is in Surah Al-Araf, and this verse here is in Surah Al-Zumar. So we'll explore these two verses, and we'll explain to you why different conjunctions were used. So this is the verse in Surah Al-Araf. It says, هو الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وجعل منها زوجها. So it is he who created you from one soul and created from it its mate. And then it mentions the reason for doing this, ليسكن إليها. In order, it says here that he might dwell in security with her, to find tranquility and relaxation. This is a direct address to us. خلقكم, that he created you, and he created us from من نفس واحدة وجعل منها زوجها. This is connecting between the first two creations, and it's actually highlighting this marriage relationship. And then it's actually talking about it in general terms for all couples. And this part here, what actually follows after that, the context of the surah indicates this marriage relationship, which is a bond between a man and woman. The dual pronouns are used to indicate this close relationship. Now, one could say, well, maybe you could use the tha. No, you can't, because it's talking about khalaqakum. He created you from nafsin wahida. So it's talking about our creation from this particular soul. And then it's talking about the creation of his mate. So obviously, she was created before we were created. So this is not talking about tartib, zamani. It's not talking about order, because this was before this. But it's actually joining بنفس واحدة to جعل منها زوجها ليسكن إليها. Okay, so this verse says خلقكم من نفس واحدة ثم جعل منها زوجها. So the difference is the thumma. So we have a question, is why was thumma used? What was the reason? It's actually used to highlight the great dissimilarity of how we were created from Adam and how Eve alayhi salam was created. So that's what thumma does. It separates them in order to highlight the great difference between these two creations. So we created you from a single person, then created of its like nature, its mate. Here the word then is used. And then it says, وَأَنْزَلَ لَكُمْ مِنَ الْأَنْعَامِ ثَمَانِيَةَ أَزْوَاجٍ. Or he has sent down to you 8 head of cattle in pairs. So this is talking about the livestock and how he actually made this submissive to us. It says, he makes you in the wombs of your mother in stages, one after another, in 3 veils of darkness. So this is talking about how each and every one of us is created in the womb of our own mother. But notice, there was actually one creation that was not created this particular way. And who was it? You got it. Hawa alayhi salam. She was created from Adam, directly from Adam alayhi salam. So it was quite appropriate to mention her creation separately. And the context actually is referring to creation. It's not talking about the man and the woman as marital partners. The context is about creation. So appropriately, she got a separate mention. So what the waaw does, it actually joins these two together. On the other hand, we saw the opposite happening here. There was a separation to indicate the difference in nature of these two creations.
Assalamu alaikum. For a long time, I've felt that the Quran is so much greater than how it's often presented. Its depth, its guidance, its direct relevance to our daily lives. It's actually immense. But how do we access that? How do we move from just reading it to truly understanding? To what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls tadabbur, deep reflection, deep study. That's why I've actually started this platform, so that you can join me on this journey. We will concentrate on 3 main things. Number 1, Quranic Arabic for everyone. We'll have tutorials and lessons from a total beginner to advanced levels. It will help you unlock the language of the Quran. Because when you understand the words, meanings come to life. And I'll be guiding you along this journey. Secondly, we'll tackle modern issues, from personal struggles to global challenges, and explore how the Quran provides timeless, practical guidance and solutions. We'll also look at the tools that Allah has given us to interpret the Quran. The Quran is a self-clarifying revelation, so we'll be using that as the basis to understand the Quran. And the third thing is that we'll have a community of learning. It isn't just a one-way street. So I have so much to share with you, and I believe this is actually a powerful tool to be able to achieve this. Your journey to mastery begins here. Inshallah, we'll see you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.